Now, guys, I've said this before in other videos. You get what you vote for. I'm going to repeat that again. You get what you vote for. Now, when Lori Lightfoot was actually voted out as the mayor of Chicago, I mentioned in a video, I remember sometime last month, I believe, that they have two choices. They have a moderate Democrat or they have a radical leftist. And I really didn't have any faith in the people of Chicago actually learning their lesson. Something was telling me, guys, that this guy, Brandon Johnson, he actually came in second during the election in Chicago for mayor. Lori Lightfoot third. I gave them credit for voting Lori Lightfoot out, but I wasn't sure that they would actually not vote for another radical. And lo and behold, guys, I wake up this morning and Rhodes told me, because he was actually thinking about making this video. He said, yeah, I'm going to shoot this video about Chicago electing this radical, Brandon Johnson. I didn't realize that the runoff election actually happened yesterday, but it did. And the people of Chicago have not learned their lesson. They complained about all this stuff with Lori Lightfoot. They complained about her not prosecuting crime. Lori Lightfoot was a disaster. And they go out there, guys, and they vote in a left-wing radical guy. This is what they did right here. Brandon Johnson, 51% of the vote. Valles, 49% of the vote. Lo and behold, they would never, ever, ever vote for a conservative in Chicago. Of course not. They were not going to do that. But Valles, his platform was that he was a moderate, and they rejected him. They rejected a moderate Democrat. Both of these guys are Democrats. But however, Brandon Johnson is a radical socialist. This man was endorsed by Bolshevik Bernie Sanders. Bolshevik Bernie endorsed this guy. Chicago has already been a dumpster fire for a very, very long time. And they went out there and they voted for somebody that's probably worse than Lori Lightfoot. And that's saying something, guys, because Lori Lightfoot was an unmitigated disaster in Chicago. The people in Chicago, they have not learned their lesson. I don't think that they will. I've also mentioned this before in other videos. I like the movie The Shawshank Redemption. And Red, in the movie, he said that he didn't know if he can make it on the outside of prison because he's institutionalized. He had been in prison for decades, and he didn't think he would be able to make it. And that's the same way these people in Chicago are. They have been voting for Democrats forever. Crime has run amok forever. But yet they keep voting the same way. There is no hope for Chicago. We are a divided nation. And this Brandon Johnson guy, boy, I'm willing to bet if you actually ask the average everyday person in Chicago, why did they actually vote for Brandon Johnson? If, asked him, what is the good reason why you gave him your vote? They probably couldn't answer the question. People of Chicago, man, you did it to yourselves. You did it to yourselves. This is crazy, but right over here on the Post Millennial, Chicago elects far left progressive Brandon Johnson as new mayor. Yeah, what's Soul saying? New boss is here, but just the same as the old boss. Same old thing. That's him, a radical Marxist right there, Brandon Johnson. Unbelievable. But it says here, Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson defeated former Chicago Public Schools CEO Paul Velez to replace outgoing Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who came in third in the primary before the runoff. Johnson is a progressive. I don't know why they call themselves progressives, because they are regressive. Bernie Sanders endorsed Democrat, while Velez was more of a moderate opponent. They rejected even the moderate. I guess in Chicago, if you just have a little bit of common sense, and not that extreme, they're going to reject you even in Chicago. And that is what happened. Outgoing Mayor Lori Lightfoot made history as the first Chicago mayor in 40 years to lose a re-election campaign. She served one term in office. One term, that's it. And if what I think is going to happen under Brandon Johnson, he'll probably end up serving one term. This guy's a radical lunatic. And you know what's going to happen? They may vote him out. And then they're going to go out there and vote for his replacement. And that person will probably be a radical lunatic. Look at Andy Ngo's tweet right here. Leftists. Brandon for Chicago, at Brandon for Chicago, which is Brandon Johnson on Twitter, has won the Chicago mayoral election against moderate Democrat Paul Velez. Johnson calls for removing law enforcement from society. During the 2020 riots, he defended looters, saying they were lashing out against racism. Yeah, this man defended and condoned looting and rioting in 2020. Yeah, but of course, you know, that was back in 2020, and in typical left-wing fashion, this man said, no, I didn't want to defund the police. But we got receipts here, guys. This is actually from his opponent right here. This is from March 15th. He put out receipts. Paul Velez put out receipts here. Brandon Johnson is lying when he claims that he's never supported defunding the police. Here's the truth. Let's go ahead and watch this clip here. This is what you guys voted for, Chicago, by the way. This is what you guys voted for.
I never said defund the police.
We're talking about a whole bunch of stuff, but in particular, like our effort and our move to redirect and defund the amount of money that is spent in policing, whether it's
that sounds like defunding the police to me. Let's continue on.
President of the United States, you know, calling it a catchy hashtag or phrase, Lori Lightfoot, which I think is actually quite dismissive of the young people who are literally putting their lives on the line for a cause that I think, quite frankly, is not just admirable, but is necessary. There are some folks who are offended by this idea of defunding the police. There are folks who are afraid of that terminology. Do that. We're shipping money away from police and incarceration. What do people not understand about this demand? President Barack Obama took it one step further as well, and basically said that the effort of the defund police movement lost an audience because of that that slogan, I guess is what he's calling it. Which I don't look at it as a slogan. It's an actual real political goal.
I never said defund the police.
Yeah. He wanted to defund the police. And you people in dangerous Chicago, where Mondays we were making videos about how many deaths there were in Chicago because of crime. It was a dumpster fire. It still is a dumpster fire. Boy, you know who won this election? The criminals in Chicago who are committing crimes, they won. You law-abiding citizens in Chicago, especially in these rough neighborhoods, you lost. You lost. Why? Because you voted for this stuff. You did not change your voting habits. You keep voting Democrat. So when your house gets robbed and the criminal gets away and you voted for Brandon Johnson, you voted for a Democrat, you did it to yourself. Boy, the biggest proponents of Democrats should be criminals. I mean, last night was a great day for criminals. It was fantastic for criminals because they know they got years more now of getting away with crime because this is who the people in Chicago voted for. They rejected even a moderate. They're not going to vote Republican. Oh, no, they're not going to vote Republican. Republicans are bad. Remember, Chicago? Republicans are bad. And Brandon Johnson said that all these people in Chicago burning down stuff and looting in 2020 is because of racism. But yet, Chicago is run by Democrats. If you have an R next to your name, you pretty much have no shot at an election in Chicago. Fox News right here. 5 ways left-wing Chicago mayor-elect Brandon Johnson has promised to transform the city. This is what you people voted for. And I'm willing to bet you guys probably didn't know this because Democrats really lean on the uneducated voter for the vote. But like I said, Chicago has been voting Democrat for like over 100 years. These people have not learned their lesson. Right here, throughout the campaign, Johnson was dogged by questions about his past support for the defund the police movement. In 2020, his 2020 comments, Johnson described defending the police as an actual real political goal. He walked back those comments as a candidate for mayor, insisting, quote, "I said it was a political goal. I never said it was mine." So I believe Fox News actually has an error here. In 2020, and they messed this up. It has here in 2020 comments. It should be in 2020 his comments. Johnson described defunding the police as an actual real political goal. You guys need to fix that. But anyway, he backtracked off of that, saying that he never said it himself. We just showed you the receipts. We just showed you the receipts. Yeah, your police, trust me, you're going to be a lot less safe. He's going to push it. He's going to push to defund the police. He's already won the election. What does he actually have to lose now by actually defunding the police? Nothing. He has nothing to lose now. You guys voted for this. Look at this. Crime is a major concern for Chicago voters, with the numbers of homicides in the Windy City hitting a 25-year high in 2021, according to the Chicago Police Department. The number of homicides dropped to 695 last year, but was still higher than when Lori Lightfoot took office in 2019. Nearly 2/3 of the city residents planning to vote said they did not feel safe in Chicago. They didn't feel safe. In a Chicago Sun-Times poll, and public safety was a leading reason why Lightfoot was given the boot. But you guys go out there and you go vote for a guy that called to defund the police. Oh my goodness, look at this. Brandon Johnson is for raising taxes. Now, you people in Chicago, by the way, of course you voted for Beijing Biden. Of course. You voted for Beijing Biden, where inflation has run amok, but he's going to raise taxes on you. Now, it says here that he's not planning on raising property taxes. However, he has proposed new taxes on financial transactions and real estate. So if you want to go out there and buy something, you're going to pay more. You poor people that voted Democrat, congratulations. The price of everything just went up on you. Yeah. Metra, the commuter rail system and transports suburbanites to work downtown before reversing after fierce backlash. He is planning on raising the rates on that. A tax. Could still happen. Look at this. Among its most controversial tax proposals is a head tax on large companies of $1 to $4 per employee and a $98 million jet fuel tax. Yeah, you know what's going to happen? These companies headquartered in Chicago, they're going to get out of there. They're going to get out of there. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Quote, are there opportunities for us to have things on the table to generate revenue from tourism? Absolutely, Johnson said. Now, boy, this right here is a big one right here, guys. Brandon Johnson wants to let illegal aliens vote on school board elections. Democrats have really been playing with fire when it comes to this. Now, New York City actually tried to do this, and the Supreme Court of New York said no, it violates the Constitution. Illegals should not be voting. But Brandon Johnson, yeah, he wants them to vote. This is crazy right here. This is crazy. Look at this. Among his proposals is to work with Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Democratic-controlled state legislature to pass legislation that would, quote, allow all parents and taxpayers to vote in school board elections regardless of citizenship status. Yeah. Johnson also proposes to appoint non-citizen representation to the Community Commission for Public Safety and Accountability, making homeless migrant children eligible for city benefits. Yeah. On your tax time, which of course he's going to increase your taxes. Oh boy. Protecting abortion rights. Johnson's campaign website is explicit. The mayor-elect believes, quote, 1, abortion is healthcare. We have seen that from Democrats so many times. How is it healthcare to actually end the life of an unborn child? 2, abortion should be a constitutional right. Now, the thing is, it is actually a state right. Depending on what state you actually live in, then they allow the slaughter of children. So in Illinois, hey, nothing changed right there. Nothing has changed on that front. And look at this garbage right here. This is the woke stuff right here. In misgendering in official records. Yeah, look at this here. Johnson's website promises to combat misinformation spread by news outlets by changing official records to refer to murdered trans people by their preferred pronouns. Johnson will work with the Cook County Medical Examiner and the General Assembly to expand the flow of useful information, which will serve as an important role in decreasing the number of trans people misgendered by official records. So, not by science. I mean, if I'm going to say I'm a non-binary, I mean, that's not even the real thing. You're either male or female, and that's determined by your biological sets. Yeah, this guy's radical, man. But you people in Chicago, you did it to yourself. Great day for the criminals of Chicago, guys. A very, very good day. Nothing's changed. New boss, same as the old boss. Probably a little bit worse. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.